Hello everyone, welcome back to LaExcellence Bengaluru presents current issue of the day, episode number 194. In today's episode, we'll discuss an unfortunate event, that is Siachen Avalanche tragedy, which led to death of 3 Indian soldiers. So we'll discuss about Siachen Avalanche tragedy and the price for guarding the glacier or the highest battlefield in the world. We'll discuss what is avalanche and what is significance of Siachen glacier and what is the issues. Okay, so it is important from GS paper 3, GS paper 2 and GS paper 3 as well. GS paper 3 in internal security because of the soldiers involved, GS paper 2 in governance, and GS paper 2 again disaster management, and in paper 3 against GS paper 1 actually in geography, especially the physical geography part. Physical geography. Okay, so what is the context then? The context is 3 army personnel, including 2 Agniveers, lost their lives recently in a major avalanche at the Siachen base camp in Ladakh. Okay, so total 3 people lost their lives because of avalanche. What is this avalanche? Okay, what is this avalanche? So in simple terms, avalanche is nothing but landslide that is happening in snow covered areas. Okay, avalanche that is being happened in snow covered areas. So here the definition of avalanche is, it is mass of snow sometimes mixed with ice, rocks or soil that suddenly slides down the mountain slope due to the gravity. Okay, so 3 things are very important here. One is the debris. The debris includes what else? The debris includes snow plus ice plus rocks plus soil, and second factor involved here is slope, and third is gravity. So this debris starts falling down the ground, starts falling down the slope because of gravity. Okay, they start falling down because of gravity, and as it goes down and down, it increases or gains velocity, it gains acceleration, it engages kinetic energy, and when that hits the people in its area or in its path, it destroys. That is basically landslide on the snow. So why is it dangerous? It is dangerous because it moves at high speed, sweeping away everything in its path, buries victims under dense snow, which quickly hardens like a concrete. You might be thinking, so what is the issue? It is only snow, right? We can easily swim out of snow, we can easily ride out of snow, we can easily ski on the snow. But here is the issue. The snow, once you are subducted under the snow, it becomes hard. It becomes so hard that it feels like a concrete. So you are submerged under a load of concrete. So this causes suffocation, trauma and hypothermia. So if the force of snow or the debris doesn't kill you, the post effects or the after effects kills you, such as hypothermia, that is loss of heat temperature due to cold, or trauma, or suffocation, and one more very disturbing thing is frostbite. Because of this, people who are the victims of avalanche go through death and destruction. So you can see here, so when there is a wind or there is a shaking of earth or there is any other causes, it results in movement of this glacier towards the edge. When it comes towards the edge, the snow comes towards the edge because of the slope and because of the gravity on the leeward side, it starts falling down, and sudden falling down will result in avalanche. Okay, so what are the causes? So what triggers avalanches in avalanches? So what triggers avalanches? Okay, so the avalanches is caused both by natural and human induced movements. So what is the natural? Heavy rainfall, rapid temperature rise, strong winds or falling rocks or ice. This suddenly results in movement of snow at a high speed. Then human induced. What is the human induced? Movement of soldiers, skiers, snowmobiles, and also mining, and also use of explosives. All these things will lead to avalanches. And also the terrain also matters, that is treeless or rock free slopes are more susceptible to avalanches. So you can see here also the continuous snowfall or continuous rainfall will result in cracks in the snow. When there is a crack in the snow, the weaker layer starts falling down. When there is a crack in the snow, the weaker layer starts falling down and it comes in a great velocity and results in deposition of avalanches or deposition of snow on the downstream. Okay, next there are different types of snow avalanches. One is slough avalanche, meaning small slides of loose powdery snow, which is less dangerous. And slab avalanches, this is most dangerous, that is large chunks of compacted snow breaks away as a slab, which is highly destructive. So when the large chunks of compacted snow break down, it almost feels like being hit by the rocks. So impact range, it varies. It can flatten forest, villages, and even army camps. That is what happened in this Siachen glacier avalanche. High relevance for India's Himalayan region, especially the Siachen, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Jammu and Kashmir. Then, how do you prevent and what are the safety measures? First is engineering, that is use of snow fencing, retaining barriers, or avalanche nets, similar to the landslides, but landslide is more dangerous compared to avalanches. So the debris or the snow can be stopped with the help of these fences, barriers, or nets. Next, controlled blasting, that is explosives that are used to trigger small avalanches before snow builds up dangerously. Okay, so use smaller triggers so that the snow keeps on falling now and then instead of falling all together at once. Next, forecasting and training. Need of avalanche monitoring centers, early warning systems, and survival drills for soldiers and mountaineers, which is going to help in avoiding ill advised or ill consequences of avalanches. Okay, avoiding avalanches. Then let us discuss about the current issue, that is the avalanche in Siachen Glacier, the life of soldiers in Siachen Glacier. What is Siachen Glacier? It is the highest and coldest battlefield in the world at an altitude of 12,000 to 22,000 feet. Where is it located? It is located in Karakoram range and it lies between India and Pakistan near the Indo-China border. So why is this very important for us and what are the hardships faced by soldiers? Soldiers face hardships because of extreme cold and hypoxia. That is, temperatures can drop to as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius in winters. Add to that avalanches, blizzards, and crevasses, making survival itself a challenge. It is said that the soldiers in Siachen die more because of the climate or weather rather than because of enemy. So for the soldiers we are surviving in Siachen, it is the more dangerous is not the enemy or not the Pakistan or the China, but the most danger comes from the terrain itself. Then avalanches and glacier hazards. Frequent snow slides, shifting glaciers, and hidden crevasses pose constant danger. Isolation and mental strain, very important aspect which is often neglected because they are soldiers. That is, long deployment of up to 3 to 6 months, no regular connectivity, and extreme loneliness in hard terrain regions. Also, the logistic nightmare. Every supply, such as food, fuel, and weapons, is airdropped by the helicopters like Cheetah or Dhruv. So, soldiers survive on high-calorie rations designed for extreme cold. So, their diet is strictly monitored here, and they cannot enjoy normal diets. Medical issues, very important. Pulmonary edema, snow blindness, frostbite, high altitude sickness are more common in the soldiers found in these regions. So you can see here, this is the image from the recent avalanches, how the avalanches happened, how the soldiers are looking for their comrades, how the soldiers have been buried under the snow. And this is the patriotism of Indian soldiers, even in the Siachen Glacier, even at the temperature of minus degrees Celsius, even at the height of 12,000 to 22,000 feet. Okay, and this is frostbite. What happens in frostbite is when the hands are exposed to the snow, low snow, what happens here is it results in loss of movement in this particular fingers, that is called as frostbites. So epidermis, dermis and subcutaneous tissue. So the top layer, that is epidermis, which will result in loss of the fingers. The fingers will be completely lost. It is like completely opposite of burning, but the feeling will be same as burning itself. That is, you are going to lose fingers itself. So it is most observed or more common in mountaineers, more common in the people who climb Mount Everest, Kathmandu, sorry, K2, etc., etc. So because the soldiers are at such high altitude and because the snow is very high, because the temperature is very low, the Indian soldiers are subjected to frostbites as well. Next, why is Siachen important? You can think why so many soldiers are being wasted, so many soldiers are losing lives. Why do we even care about Siachen Glacier? Why do we need it? It is very important because of its strategic location. It lies at the tri-junction of India, Pakistan and China near the Karakoram Pass. It controls access between Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan and Chinese Xinjiang, that is Tibet region. So we act as a barrier between Pakistan and China. If we are not there in the Siachen Glacier, this barrier will be broken and there will be free flow of goods, soldiers, terrorists, etc., between China and Pakistan, which is not recommended or which is not needed for India at the moment. That preventing enemy occupation, very important. Operation Meghdut ensured that Indian troops control the glacier, preempting Pakistan. If vacated, Pakistan or China could occupy, threatening Leh and Ladakh region completely. They will gain higher ground, which will result in their shot at Ladakh and Leh. Then national security and prestige. Holding Siachen symbolizes India's determination to defend every inch of territory. Next, glacier water resources. Sources of Nubra River, that is a tributary of Indus, makes it geopolitically vital as well. Then, the cost of deployment. Since 1984, more than 900 soldiers have lost their lives, mostly due to weather rather than combat. Then, despite the peace talks, India insists on authentication of troops' positions before any withdrawal, fearing the reoccupation by Pakistan. Because we cannot trust Pakistan in defense or strategic security matters. Because Pakistan has a habit of having friendship in the front and stabbing us in the back. So we cannot take risk with respect to Pakistan in this case. So as a result, as long as Pakistan doesn't retreat from Pakistan occupied Kashmir, India cannot retreat from Siachen Glacier. So this is the strategic location of Siachen Glacier. You can see the roads or highways built there. That is how significant the Siachen Glacier is. That is how significant the location is. So this covers the aspects of avalanches. This covers the aspect of Siachen Glacier and its significance from strategic, defense and other aspects. So this ends the discussion for the day. If you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it and also share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss any notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.